stating here on the Daily Dan blog, I'm back with another comic book review. Check it out. I found Frankenstein Mobster. Yeah, okay. It's an Image comic book from 2004. My issue's number 3, so that means a couple of things have already happened. But let me break it down for you. That's right. Frankenstein's a cop. That's right. He's a cop. Frankenstein's tracking down bad guys in an alternate universe where all the monsters are just the people. Because they're all monsters. Because it's a monster universe. He's been assigned a new partner. And they're trying to track down something like a killer, I guess. We'll see. I don't want to give too much of the story away. But I can't wait to see if Dave Sunstorm and Thrash Pondo Pines or Pat McCormick think this is the good stuff. Because I think this dismal piece of crap from Canada could be one of the worst dismal pieces of crap I ever seen. So let's bust it open and have a look at this piece of... And we get a well-drawn inside cover as Detective Frankenstein and his new partner, Terry Todd, who is apparently the daughter of somebody he worked with once. God, check it out. Monstrous City. Monstrous City. Oh, God. Don't you just love the Canadians? They come up with such wonderful stuff. That's right. It's an Image comic book. It's from Canada. It's 2004. These are the people we should probably blame for what we're about to have to endure. Wah, wah, wah. Printed in Canada. That's right. She's hot. She reminds me of Agent Scully, and he's Frankenstein Mulder. You know, I think maybe this one started out as an X-Files comic book, and they just changed it up real quick, added some monsters, spiced it up, and now it's not the X-Files anymore. Well, from now on, I'm calling that chick Scully. I don't care if her name is Terry Todd. Her name is Scully. Look at that face. You can't tell me that ain't young Scully. Young Scully hanging out with Frankenstein Detective as they check out the case of the missing monsters. That's right. It sounds like some Scooby-Doo BS, don't it? So in full shiny-ass, glossy Canadian panels, brought to you by the Daily Dan blog. The story rolls on. So Frankenstein cop and Agent Scully catch out some dwarves having a fishing trip. They question the dwarves up. Dwarves don't know nothing. Why they asking these dwarves on a boat about the case? I do not know. And apparently talisman are really important to these people because everybody wants to know how to get talisman. Talisman. That must be what they use for money in the freaky monster world. Well, anyway, they asked these dwarves and stuff about the snitch. You know, the snitch monster, sea monster, the one that knows everything. Because, of course, sea monsters are snitches. So it don't take them long to track down the sea monster. And get a look at this gelatinous piece of crap. It looked like jalapeno on a stick by a Jeff Dunham commercial. Anyway, they go over and they talk to Monster Jelly Head on a stick over here, and to get the information about the missing monsters, which apparently this long-winded sucker has lot of information, but he just sends them over to the whale shack to get educated. I'll give the Image comics credit for one thing. They made Scully look pretty good right there, didn't they? And the fact they're not a Marvel, and there's not a commercial every other freaking page. Anyway, they're going to go over to the clown shack, the monster shack. They're going to make commence on their Scully and Mulder investigation into the missing monsters by questioning everybody they can run across over at the Goose Shack. Goose Shack? Wake Shack? Wharf Shack? Wharf Shack. I'm just going to call it the Goose Shack. Obviously, this mother's in the red light district. When they walk in, there's an octopus tending bars, because that way you get a lot more drakes get out at a time, right? It's the god darn creature cantina from Star Wars right here, buddy, in this horrible red light, distracting from the art, giving my eyes spasmodic headaches. Yeah, the party's going on now, partner. That's right. We're going to question the monster bartender, who obviously looks like a cat man, the invisible man sitting at the bar, because if he unwraps, you're never going to catch him. So Franken, Cop, and Scully make their way to the back of the bar. Yep, they found the cat man they want to question. This guy looks like a real... And this is the part that really irritates me. Frankenstein, Cop, and Scully, they questioning the invisible man. They questioning the Loch Ness Monster guy. They questioning that kangaroo-headed sucker behind the bar. They questioning Igor. They questioning Igor's brother. Hell, Scully laid intimidation down on Igor. Question after question. All these people in the bar, and the only thing they get out of it is a free box of corn dogs. I swear to God. 2 pages of questions, 2 pages of worthless answers, 2 pages of we didn't get no leads, and well-drawn art for Scully anyway. That's the only thing in this book worth looking at. And they leave with nothing. 2 pages of horrible, glary red art and nothing. So as Scully and Frankenstein Cop literally walk out the bar, they missed it. As the literal people they're wanting to find to talk to, these goose, the mob rolled by and had a look. That's the first time the mob shows up, riding around in their car. That's right, the bald-headed leader of the mob, the Hugh Jackman driver. What's it? You got Wolverine driving the car as they ride through. I guess it's a matter of opinion. Either the really seedy, nasty side of town or the really good side of town that you want to be in. I guess it's a matter of your opinion on things. But anyway, the crime bosses are rolling through Monster Hood. They're driving through the city of crime. They're the bosses. They're large and in charge. And we see them in the back of the limo, laughing it up, joking it up as they stop and pick up Danny DeVito in Philadelphia. And they head on over and they pick up Lucky, and there's Lucky sitting over there. He's wearing his special little round glasses because they got Lucky and Danny DeVito in the car with them as they rode around making their monster plans to hide out the monsters they have kidnapped. That's right, they took monsters and they're going to make beef jerky out of them. That's right, because the gangsters are going to reopen the goblin market where you could buy a little bit of any monster you want. Oh God, this is a dark image turn. Oh, I did not see that coming. Oh, we're going to cut up the monsters and make jerky out of them. We're going to sell them at the Goblin Mart because we're evil. We're evil, I tell you. There are some really bad guys. You know you're a bad guy when you're so bad you're kidnapping monsters, cutting them up and making monster jerky. Finally, Frankie makes an appearance as he gets busted listening in the hall out of nowhere. That's right, they put the carbuncle on Frankenstein Cop. He's been creeping around this whole comic book, hiding in the background, being a spy, and he's going to run through a big, long explanation of how he's been creeping around, watching from the background, as they decide to go into the monster flea market of time at the Goblin Market to see what all little spices are lurking about. Frankenstein Cop are sure that they're making beef jerky out of the other monsters. Frankenstein Cop continues to look, search, and hunt as the little dwarven servants of the mobster must be like Kingpin or something evil. I keep expecting the mobster guy to rip off his mask and be a monster too, because everybody in this book but the bad guy is literally monsters. And the monsters are not good guys neither. The monsters are little bad guys like these two right out of a really stupid old movie. We're supposed to have that stupid old movie with these guys in it. I think Robin Williams played one of them. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I digress as the monsters come out of the woodwork to tell him, hey, there's nothing funky going on around here, Frankenstein Cop. Frankenstein Cop continues his search. At this point, I want to know where little Scully went. I ain't seen Scully in pages. I miss little Scully. She was the only thing in this freaking comic book worth looking at. Frankenstein Cop makes a discovery of a locked chest. Frankenstein Cop insists that the chest get open. Frankenstein Cop sees when the chest is open, them things. What are them things? Little round eggs. I wonder if it's the little kind of round eggs that's going to hatch into baby somethings, or if it's the little round eggs they smoke in New York. You know, it never does tell what these little round egg balls are that old Frankie baby's playing with, searching through, looking through, examining. But they have a bad effect. Whoa, like little eggs of acid. Suddenly Frankie remembers. He remembers this place. Read it, I'll hold it still for you. He actually remembers this place because the old bald criminal guy's doctor, Frankenstein, the one who created Frankie. This causes horrible flashbacks to the Frankenstein monster cop. He's freaking out. Dr. Frankenstein's like, all these years, and now you remember, buddy. And Frankenstein monster's freaking out. Even the little monsters are like, no, it can't be. No, it can't be. The secret's out, buddy. The secret's out, buddy. The secret's out. Oh, my God. And before I get into Snap, probably the most surprising ending of all time, you know I got to do this. Be sure to check out my friend Bigfoot Michigan Rob, True Cryptid Encounters. His book number 2 is out. I checked out book 1. I bought book 2. I can't wait to start reading it. Be sure to check out True Cryptid Encounters by Bigfoot Michigan Rob, as well as my buddy Eric over at Gypsy Road. He changes that channel name so many times I have trouble keeping up with it. Also, be sure to give a special check out to the Good Stuff Brothers. That's right, Dave Sunstorm and Steven Sunstorm, the incredible Good Stuff Brothers. My main man, Thrash Pondo Ponds, look for us. Hopefully Sunday, August 31st, as we have our first show, Sherlock Theater. And be sure to check out my friend Pat McCormick on the Golden Razor TV. Thank you, Pat, for letting me use your stuff on my channel. As well as my friend BK on the air. Hey, you can see Dave and BK on the air talking about old commercials. It's up on YouTube on the Dave Sunstorm channel. Be sure to check out my friend Corey at Corey's Comedy channel. My Flock Sarah. Be sure to check out My Flock is Everywhere, Sarah. The Nostalgic Pod Blast, Blast, Blast. Be sure to check out Chance at the Nostalgic Pod Blast. The Retro Nerd Girl Brainbender's Banner. AAP. Homestead. AAP for life. The Unapologetic Geek and Harold the Hatter. The Good Stuff guys. And I'm going to add some more people to that list one day. And without further ado, I bring you Comic Book Finish of the Year. Frankenstein Cop! After learning, after remembering that the evil villain Baldfinger here is the real Dr. Frankenstein who created him. He has had a touch of the memory balls or whatever they were that made him remember. They called it goblin pie. It makes Frankie freak. That's right, Frankenstein loses his mind. And in what has to be the most shocking comic book ending of the year. I'm glad it's Halloween. Frankenstein Cop goes on a rampage and busts some heads. Frankenstein Cop goes on a rampage and busts some teeth out. Frankenstein Cop goes after Doc Frank, and Doc Frank pulls a gun. Frankenstein Cop just yanked that gun away and snap it out of his hand like he owned him. And then Frankenstein Cop just opens fire. Bam, 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 bam. And Frankenstein Cop starts shooting and literally makes Ghost out of all the bad guys around him. Even shoots old Dr. Frank through the hand. Dr. Frank's going down, and all of a sudden the sound of police cars all around pulls up. And he's like, I don't know what I am. This is the police. Step away from the bodies and throw down the gun, Frank. Frankenstein Cop is going to jail. And to be continued. Ah! And then we're going to get some decompositions at the end of the book. And you can write them right there. It might still be in existence. This is like, what, 2014 or something. Here's some reading from Michael Marone. Because I know you want to read this, Michael Marone. And I hope I don't never get part 3. I don't even want part 1. It's a Canadian piece of garbage. It's from Image Comics. It's called Frankenstein Mobster. I took a look at it. I looked through it. I like the cover. It's going to look good on the wall. The rest of the book's total garbage. It had a couple of good pieces of art towards the front. It's got way too much reading in the back. Michael Marone's going to love this. He'll pause it. He'll read every word about something that don't matter. Heck, he'll probably even send me an email or two. I'm surprised Harper don't do that. But I'll give this one thing that's really good credit to Old Image Comics. They don't kill you. They don't kill you with commercials. Hey, it's Hammer's Gods. When I first saw Hammer's Gods, I didn't think it was some Thor bullshit. I actually thought it was going to be some Hammer movie stuff. I guess I got fooled. And we get this really cool back cover. That's right. Frankenstein Mobster, number 4. The Return of Scully. Did you do it, Frank? Did you kill them all? Giggity, 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 giggity. Well, maybe I will get part 4. That's my look at Frankenstein's Mobster number 3. From 2004. I got it right. I thought I said 2014 earlier, but it's 2004. Frankenstein's Mobster, a Canadian comic book from Image. By Mark Wheatley. Anybody out there know Mark Wheatley? You might want to write that sucker a letter and tell him his book sucked. And until next time, this is Danny Staten in search of the good stuff, doing horror movie comics from now to Thanksgiving. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Be sure to join me for my next horrible comic book review. And until next time, blog over, dudes.